Hello?
Hi, is this the sheriff?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Sheriff. My name is Jim Cooley. I'm calling from Winder, Georgia. How are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
Well, I'm doing fine. Actually, I'm disturbed by something I was reading, and I was informed that I would need to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Um, this is in regards to Shannon Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
I was speaking with the county manager, Mr. Melton, and he told me that no one from the county gave orders to have Mr. Hamilton arrested. So I'm curious to know who is filing the charges against Mr. Hamilton.
Well, the sheriff's office is filing the charges, and our legislatures are the ones that enacted those laws. You know, we take an oath to enforce them, sir. And I understand this whole situation of this whole thing, but you know, there are laws, and you know, I take an oath to enforce those laws, and my officers take the same oath. And you know, we can't just. He was given every opportunity under the sun out there Sunday afternoon to vacate and not do what he went there for. My officers, he called his supervisor out there. The supervisor talked with him forever trying to get him not to do that. And Mr. Hamilton, by his own words, said that he was out with the sheriff's office over what had happened. You know, the officers were doing their job. He realized that he was in the wrong by doing what he done, but he was on a mission to do it. And who's, you know, you nor I, neither one. I know I can't attest to the feelings he's having. I can imagine some of the feelings he's having, but still, you know, that's what they elect me sheriff for, is to enforce the laws of this county. And I hear you loud and clear, but I don't know how else I can explain it to you.
Well, can I ask you this question? Now, I know you're an elected sheriff, just like my sheriff is an elected sheriff, and he's a wonderful sheriff, Sheriff Judd Smith.
I know Judd well.
And before anything else, he took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of Georgia before he took an oath to uphold what you say are laws, are codes of Georgia. And I know you're probably not familiar with this, is that codes of Georgia are not laws if they are in conflict with the Constitution. And I firmly believe, sir, with all my heart, that the Constitution should be upheld first before any codes of Georgia are upheld. Now, and this is what I explained.
Now, when you say codes, are you referring to state law?
No, they're not state law. It's official code of Georgia annotated code, not law. That's where people get confused, that codes are not law. If it was law, it would say official law of Georgia annotated. And I asked the county manager, because this man was charged with interference with government property. The government doesn't own any property. The government is owned by the people, and that's what it states in the Georgia State Constitution, Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 1 and 2. And the government doesn't own any property. It's the people's property. And if the people want to improve it, especially for safety, why should the people be arrested for it? And that's my question.
Well, you know, as I said, our legislatures, which I'm assuming you vote, go to the Capitol and they enact these laws and expect us to enforce them. So that's what, you know, I take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the United States and of this state. So help me God, and that's what I'm doing.
Well, then don't you believe that in the interest of justice for the people, that the charges should be dropped against him? Because
who's to say they won't be? I mean, I can't. we made the charges. My officers made the charges. It's not up to me to drop them. It's up to the district attorney. He's the once I make the charges, they go to the district attorney for prosecution. He is the state's attorney, and so he'll be the one to make that decision as to whether he dismisses them, carries them to the grand jury, or prosecutes them.
Well, I believe, and I've seen it done before, that the sheriff, not a deputy, the sheriff can go to the prosecutor or district attorney and say, we don't intend on prosecuting this case.
And I'm not being argumentative, but do you not agree that the man was, well, based on what I've told you, the man was given the opportunity to leave out there. The county was in the process of correcting the problems they say they've got out there, and you've been around long as I have, you know there's a process that government has to go through to be transparent as to who's buying what and who's bidding on what and this kind of thing, and you know it don't just happen overnight.
Well, and that's true, and the problem is sometimes it takes absolutely too long, and you have to ask yourself, how many people need to die before things get improved? And that's the problem, is too many lives are lost, and that's what really hurts. And when the people,
well, I understand what you're saying. I totally understand, but I feel like I was protecting and serving the citizens of the county and doing what I done, or not what I done, what my officers done.
Well, I think the citizens of White County are being better protected by him improving something. I think if you actually
if he put something up out there that would have been more of a liability than what it was.
Well, you didn't give him a chance to finish. That was the problem, you know.
You asked him not to do it, and he went ahead and chose to do it. So, we didn't leave those officers any choice.
Well, he was actually within his rights too, to do it, because as one of the people of White County, and I'm not one of the people of White County, but I get concerned about everything, especially constitutional issues, and but I believe that, hey, if somebody wants to use their own money to help improve something, to maybe save a life, even one life.
Let me ask you a question. I don't know, I'm assuming you live down there in Judge Smith's county. If somebody comes to your house in the morning and plows your driveway up because you've made them mad about something, what are you going to expect to be done about it?
Oh, see, now you're talking about private property. I'm talking about the...
Oh, you got to cross you probably, like everybody else, you got to cross a county right-of-way to get on the thoroughfare.
If somebody is trying to improve the public property, then I don't have any problem doing that. In fact, I would be out there helping them. And that's how a community should come together. It's not like it used to be years ago when people helped each other.
Right.
And that's another sad part. But, we're trying to get things to the way they used to be many, many years ago. And I honestly believe that, this man should not be charged with anything. And I believe that as the sheriff, you have the power to stop it.
Well, the charges have been made, and they're in the courts now, or will be in the courts. And then, it goes from there, like I say, to the district attorney. And if he chooses not to prosecute him, I got no problem with it. But that's entirely up to him at this point.
Well, the district attorneys, they don't like to see like they're giving somebody a break. So we already know that he's going to plan on prosecuting him to the fullest.
Sir, I didn't. My officers tried every way under the sun out there yesterday to give that man a break.
I know, and I would have defied your officers, your deputies too, because if I believe I'm doing something for the good, you can never be harmed by doing something for the good.
Right.
And that's how I believe it to be.
Well, and I guess from my standpoint, I feel like that we were doing good for the rest of. I feel we were doing good too, because we were trying to make sure the right thing was done, and it resulted in an arrest. And
well, maybe the right thing to do was your deputies be out there helping him do it and showing the community that everybody can pitch in to help save lives.
Well, like I say, it's a long story, and Mr. Hamilton I think, was well aware of the situation as far as the county was in the process of doing this, and it just, as you said earlier, it didn't happen as fast as as he thought it should happen. And government is known for things move slow, because got so many hurdles you got to jump, and I guess that may be part of the problem.
And that's a big part of the problem, is that it could take years for them to fix something and yet still watch other people die.
Well, I don't think it would have took them years. They were in the process of getting some things in place to put up some whatever kind of barriers needed to be put up out there.
See, even if they just hurried up and put up temporary barriers so they could show that they're, actually really interested in making progress, that would have helped. But
yeah.
They didn't show that they were doing anything.
Well, the board. I'm not trying to defend everybody, but we've got a pretty progressive board here that tries to make sure things get done in an appropriate time. So I don't really think they were dragging their feet all that much. They knew they had a problem and they was addressing it. And I don't know what else to say to you, sir.
Well, Sheriff, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'm going to be following this case, and I hope that in the interest of justice, the right thing will be done.
Well, you can take my word for it. The right thing will be done, and I just feel like the right thing will be done.
Well, I certainly hope so.
All right, sir. Good to talk to you.
Thank you, Sheriff.